Hey everybody, so today's video is going to be all about bathing your pet rat, and there's some controversy on whether or not rats need a full bath or just a sponge bath. So I'll be going over all of the reasons on why your rat would need a full bath. And reason number one is on whether or not your rat is overweight, injured, sick, or elderly. Rats are constant groomers, they groom themselves, and they also groom their cage mates. So a lot of times when they become injured or sick or even just elderly, they can't bend over properly to clean their tummy area and private parts, so they will need regular baths if this is the case. And reason number two is for medical reasons. If your rat has some kind of skin condition or they are being treated for lice and or mites, then they're definitely going to be needing regular baths. If it is for mites or lice, they'll be needing weekly baths. And reason number three is dominance urination, and this is a particular problem with male rats. However, female rats do it too. They basically just pee on one another to show dominance, so after a while they'll need a bath. And reason number four is buck grease. This is only going to be a problem in male rats. It's basically when they have a high level of testosterone, like an intact male, and a yellowish, orangish, oily patch shows up on their back. It can get really smelly, and it's also pretty hard for them to clean off themselves, so this will also cause them to need regular baths. And reason number five is during introductions. It's recommended that you bathe your rat before you introduce them to a new rat. This can cut down on the territorial problems in general since they don't smell strongly of themselves, basically. And reason number six is odor control, and this is probably going to be the number one reason on why you bathe your rats. This is why I bathe mine, and a lot of people will have questions for me asking, why does my cage smell so bad? I've cleaned everything, the bedding is fresh, the hammocks have been washed, and my cage still smells bad. Well, it's probably your rats, so go ahead and pick them up and give them a good rat huff, and sometimes they can smell really strong of urine, and so they definitely need a bath then. Reason number seven is kind of another obvious one. It's when your rat gets into something like Maymay here. She is the naughtiest rat I've ever owned, and she gets into everything. She's always digging in my plants, getting super dirty, and anything she can find, she will definitely get into it. So if your rat does get into something messy and you need to give him a bath, then so be it. I often get the question on what kind of shampoo you should be using to bathe your rats, and a lot of people will use dog shampoo or kitten shampoo. You just want to make sure that it's not a flea or tick version, it's just, regular cleaning shampoo. And you can also use baby shampoo, and if you have a male that has a lot of butt grease and you're having problems cutting through that grease, then you can use any kind of dishwashing detergent, dishwashing liquid like Dawn. Rats in general have pretty greasy skin and greasy hair. I use Dr. Bronner's Castile soap, and the Castile soap is really good at kind of cutting through that grease and leaving them smelling super nice. Since rats have long tails that are constantly being dragged all over the cage and all over the ground, they can get pretty dirty pretty quickly, and this can actually be one of the main reasons that your rat smells bad, is if they have a nasty tail. So cleaning them can be important when giving them a bath. Just want to make sure that you're wiping the tail from the rump down to the tip of the tail. This is the direction that the little scales are growing. And if you do it the opposite direction, you can risk packing in debris and feces into the scales of the tail, and this can cause inflammation and even infection, and it can be really painful for them. So you just want to make sure that you're wiping them from rump down to the tip of the tail, and if it's really bad, you can get a baby toothbrush and just kind of lightly scrub it in that direction to get it clean. Or this might even take several sessions to get the rat's tail as clean as you'd like, depending on where they were living. So also keeping the cage clean in general kind of prevents them from getting a nasty tail. Personally, I just like to run warm soapy water over it, and every now and then I'll get a baby wipe or the boogie wipes for babies and just wipe their tail down in between baths if they get really, really bad. Not all rats, and in fact most rats, actually don't like getting a bath. Surprise, surprise. So you want to make sure that you're restraining them properly. You're definitely going to be needing both hands to kind of hold their front and their rump area, and even though they're going to squirm, you want to make sure that you kind of hold on to them a little tightly and don't let them move, especially at the beginning if this is your rat's first bath. You want them to realize that you're in control and that they can't get away. You also want to make sure that your hands are away from their head area, especially if this is a new rat to you, because some rats who have great personalities, as soon as you get them in the water, they become nippy and they will bite you. Once your rat realizes that it's pretty much not able to go anywhere, it'll kind of just sit there and take the bath. As soon as you loosen your grip, it might try to squirm away. You just want to make sure that you keep a full grip on the rat. Amber here, she really doesn't care. She'll just kind of lay there and she just likes some warm water running over her. So I don't have any problems with my rats, but in general, if it's a new rat or if it's their first time getting a bath, you kind of want to be cautious. Also, don't be surprised if your rat starts squealing in protest. This happens a lot with baby rats. They will scream and squeal, and it's a horrible sound, but it's just them basically saying, I don't want to be in the bathtub. Also, don't be surprised if your rat starts to poop, especially if they're not used to doing that. Like anytime you hold them, they don't poop. But as soon as you put them in the water, they'll start to poop. This is called fear poop, and they are usually kind of nasty compared to their regular poops, and they kind of have a strong odor. So they usually just end up in the sink, and I'll just pick them up with tissue paper and throw them in the toilet. It's nothing really to worry about. It's common when a rat is scared for them to have some little poops come out. Drying is probably going to be the easiest part in the whole bath process. I like to take a warm towel that's been in the dryer and just kind of wrap them up in it and make sure they're all clean and that their tails are clean, and also that you didn't get any water in their ears. And make sure that there's no drafts or anything when you're putting them back in the cage, and don't be surprised when they start cleaning themselves erratically because of the bath. So I hope this helped you guys, and if you have any questions, go ahead and comment below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.